SIUE starting pitcher once more. Again, limited numbers for her compared to the rest of the SIUE pitching lineup, but nothing to scoff at by any means. We can also take a look at the Morehead State batting order. It's brought to you by Rawlings, the #1 softball brand worldwide and widely recognized as the mark of a pro. It's proud to be the official softball of the OVC. Some changes being made for Morehead State now in back-to-back games. Christopher still leads off, Vandemark still second and batting second, Pickford still at third and batting third. Farmer still behind the dish. It's Nyla Doran, the DP. Tykebria Campbell still in right. Sophie Collins still in left. Kylie Mann at short. And Noemi Latondra still the first baseman. So largely unchanged. Slight changes in terms of the DP for SIUE as well. We'll take a look at that defensive alignment after our first batter just to see what they look like in their defensive changes. It is not a whole lot, but it is more than it was between yesterday evening and this afternoon. Maddie Christopher will bat first, as mentioned, and will face Mia Volpert to start off this second game. An early end of game number 1 and a quick bunt hits the glove awkwardly of the Cougar catcher. First pitch is in for a strike. 12-13 for SIUE with the win earlier. They're now 5-0 in conference play. 1-18 for Morehead State. They're 0-5. Another close game as that slap towards center field will drop in for a very short hit, just narrowly in the outfield grass. We can now take a look at that SIUE defensive alignment. It's brought to you by Kentucky Tourism. Come explore your new Kentucky home. Slight changes between last game and this game. It's actually Aiden Barrera now behind the plate. Jesslyn Stairs still at first. Woodward, Torres, Garza right to left for the rest of the infield. Still Fahey, Harville, and Limburger left to right in the outfield. So the only change from what you just saw is Aiden Barrera, who is behind the plate. The other notable change is, well, who was the catcher for SIUE, Ashlyn Duran. She is now the DP. Vandemark batting second. Again, Morehead State with a leadoff man aboard. 2-0 squares to bunt. That too catches Aiden Barrera. She's taking the brunt of things and gets the sly grin from the home plate umpire. Umpires once more have played a ring around the rosy here at SIUE. Cato's at second base. It's Ken Cato. Bradley Gaylord's at first. Michael Carby is behind the dish. Three and one to the Eagles' second baseman. Pelts that towards center field. Carrying, gone! Morehead State gets the scoring done early. Two batters, both will touch home. Eagles lead 2-0 in the blink of an eye here in Edwardsville. Sage Vandemark puts her third home run of the season over the dead center field fence. Adds RBIs number 13 and 14. Puts her 20th hit up as well. What a start to this game for the Eagles. Said this previous game, said this yesterday, not hitting poorly. Really not pitching poorly either. It's been many, many close games and they've faced very notable and difficult opponents. Showing how quick they can get out to a lead here. Three consecutive misses. Two consecutive misses. A shade outside for Volpert. Gets the foul back that time around from Sela Pickford. Again, really the only adjustment for either team is the game of ring around the rosy with their designated player positions. That one's popped straight up, will fall foul. For SIUE, they had Reagan Duncan as the DP. She is not in this game. Ashley Duran is now the DP. She was formerly the catcher. That one's over towards Garza. Ends up picking the ball up out of her glove, but keeps the ball in front of her and completes the put out over to first.
Number 16, Sydney Farmer.
Fulper misses low there. 1-0 with one out. That one gets in there for a strike, 1-1. Sela Pickford watches that one miss outside. Swung on and hit towards right field. Limburger makes her way in, dives and cannot make the catch. It falls in front of her. Sprinting towards second and sliding in safely is Sela Pickford. Going back to the previous game, Pickford finally had her hitting streak ended. She had an 11-game hitting streak going into that game, although she starts one up here. Don't call it a streak just yet. It's one game. However, it started regardless. She reaches second on the third Eagle hit of this inning. Correct myself, I had forgotten Sela Pickford had grounded out to third. Previous point still stands of her losing her hitting streak, but it hasn't restarted just yet. It's Sydney Farmer on second base. My apologies. Ben Sorden comes out, has a conversation. Inside the circle with the Cougar starting pitcher. Misses low for a ball. Nyla Dwaran into bat here for the Eagles. That gets in there for a strike. Fulpert deals a 2-2. That's towards Garza. She'll throw over to first, trying to get the double play back to third. She'll get it. A stellar throw, and it may very well turn into a challenge. That's a pretty close play over at third base. Arissa Garza had the look over to Ben Sorden, who remains in a seated position. Double play not turned, but they do get the out over at first. Sorden will not decide to challenge and will let play continue here in the first inning. They still have 2 outs as they bring Tykebria Campbell to the plate. It's a really good throw from Jesselyn Stairs. over towards third base. Garza put the tag down hard. That one's over towards first. Stairs does have to win the race back, but she will. Challenge not required. Run doesn't count. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Morehead State, however, score 2. It's the home run from Sage Vandemark. That's the difference maker right now. 2 runs on 3 hits and no Cougar errors. Eagles by 2 as we go to the bottom of the first.
Energy needs may change with the seasons, but saving money makes sense all year. With CenterPoint Energy's efficiency programs, it's easy. Home energy assessments help spot ways to save. Rebates can lower heating, cooling equipment costs. And our online marketplace delivers energy-saving products to your door. Electric and gas savings, all from your local energy provider. See how you can save this winter by going to centerpointenergy.com/smart savings.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Member FDIC. Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
SIUE to bat. We can take a look at their batting order. It too is brought to you by Rawlings, the official softball of the OVC. As mentioned, Barrera comes in to catch. She's batting 8th. Really, everybody else is the same. Stairs and Garza move up a space with the lack of Reagan Duncan. Ashley Duran is the DP. That's really the only exception on that front. Near first pitch swinging, but they have the 4-3 put out there in time, and
Number 4,
Abby Harville is put out at first. She bats first and has had a rough go of things, apart from a hit and change when she was thrown out attempting to extend a base yesterday evening. This is game 3 of a doubleheader as Justine Torres comes to bat. Again, Riley Burney, the starting pitcher for the Eagles. Burney ahead 0-1 here. That one's fouled away. It's the defense for Morehead State. Again, limited changes. Farmer behind the dish. Actually, no changes to the defense. It's only the DP that has an adjustment as that's put out towards a third baseman. And quickly put over, Sela Pickford continues her stand here for the Eagles. One more time, Collins, Christopher Campbell, left to right in the outfield. Pickford, Mann, Vandemark, Latondra, left to right in the infield. Riley Burney and Sydney Farmer, pitcher and catcher respectively. Two quick putouts for Burney. And it brings Kaylin Fahey in. 2 for 7, a couple singles, and a lot of pop and flyouts. 3 times to right field she's been set down today. Or in this series, that is. Fahey bunts a little high and way too much spin. Cue shot, if you will, goes well off towards the left. That one's pelted towards left center field. Could clear. It will clear the fence. Nobody left the park in the first game, of this doubleheader. Two separate players have left it in the first inning of Game 2. Kaylin Fahey adds one to the Cougar tally. And SIUE brings it back to within one. Another considerable piece of hitting. Unsuspecting times for SIUE. This is the first run they've scored in the first 3 innings of any of these 3 games. That very comfortably landed on the berm out in left center field. As Kaylin Fahey puts her second home run of the season over the fence and adds RBI number 13. Ashley Duran's got 4 separate singles. Combine all 4 of those singles, you got 4 total bases. That's the equivalent of Kaylin Fahey's home run you just saw. Duran would love to add that tally. Morehead State pitching has not given up all that many homers, 12 total. Allison Harris with nearly the most innings pitched. Makes sense, she's given up the most. She's given up 7 on 38.1. I believe 38.2 technically, going back to the end of the previous game. 1 for Ainsley Stubbs in 45 innings pitched, and Riley Burney's got 33.2 innings pitched and 4 home runs, make that number 5 given up. Quickly ahead is Duran, 3-1. 2 now the Cougar DP. That one misses low, and she'll take a free pass. First for either team on the game.
Betsy Woodward.
And it brings Betsy Woodward to bat. Has been batting in the 6 hole for the last couple games. Is now batting 5th because of the lack of Duncan as mentioned. That one's low. Behind 0-1 is Riley Burney. At 2 misses low for a strike. It's quickly 2-0. And time is called by Sydney Farmer. She'd like to have a conversation alongside the rest of the infield with Riley Burney. Free pass just given up on what was a 3-1 count. Has missed 2 straight here. And not only will it bring in the infield, it will also bring in Bonita Allen, the assistant coach for Morehead State. Jeopardy theme music runs its course, and the committee meeting inside the circle has come to a close. This is all in the middle of the at-bat, by the way. Count you see at the top of your screen is correct. It's still 2-0 on the Cougar second baseman. That's in there for a strike, catches the lower end of the zone. Ashley Duran still on first base after her free pass. Kaylin Fahey has the lone Cougar run, and actually lone Cougar home run now of this series. That one's cued off the bat, back off the bat, and or the leg of Woodward. Falls foul. 2 separate home runs in this series for the Eagles. One courtesy of Noemi Latondra in the 3rd inning of the first game. That was Friday evening. It's technically still the afternoon at that stage of the day. Pretty close. That drops in way too far in, that is, for a ball. The count fills up at 3-2. Full count with 2 outs. Duran over at first will be going. And she will just take second base a little quicker than she would otherwise. Second consecutive walk for Riley Burney after sitting down the first 2 Cougars in quick succession. She's given up the lone home run and now a couple of walks. It brings Jesslyn Stairs to bat. Stairs puts the opposite field, but a little too far in the opposite field. That missed the Cougar bullpen. Just a bit outside. Stairs had an RBI in the first of this doubleheader. Single up the middle that scored Van Bruzigen, who was a pinch runner for Duncan at the time. She then proceeded to score from first base with what would be the game-winning run, courtesy of an Arissa Garza double. And then Arissa Garza came home to score, courtesy of a Harley Limburger double. 1-1 count to Stairs. That's up and in. Pick behind the runners. They've got her hung up. Difficult start, but nobody's back to cover first. I don't know if that tag got her. They say it did. And no complaints over at first base. Betsy Woodward caught napping over at first, and nearly a defensive disaster ends up being just the base running disaster. We head to the second. Morehead State retains their lead, and some defensive help gets them out of the ordeal.
Follow your Cougars on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and X.
I'm a star of your team. Check out my game day drip. It's custom. Forget the game. You're watching me. Who loves you? And if you don't have the right auto coverage, you'll be paying for that yourself. So switch to Allstate. You can save hundreds.
That's cold.
I need it for work.
Top of the second inning here in Edwardsville, Illinois. Welcome to Cougar Field. Daniel Roedier alongside our entire ESPN crew here with you for Game 2 of a doubleheader, Game 3 of a Friday-Saturday 3-game series. SIUE hosting Morehead State. They've swept the first 2 of this series and all 3 in their first weekend series of the conference season against Tennessee Tech. I was down in Cookeville. Could not get the win. And they took on Big Ten's University of Minnesota. The Golden Gophers split with the OVC. Had a loss 5-0, or SIUE had the loss 5-0 here in Edwardsville on Tuesday. And Minnesota went to Lindenwood. And the Lions beat the Golden Gophers 3-0 on Wednesday. SIUE has a chance to quickly get to 500 on the season. That's fouled straight back and cuts the count to 3-2. They lost 3 of 4 at the Colonel Classic, hosted by Austin P. Lost to Pittsburgh in 6 innings, 10-0. Lost to Bradley in Eastern Kentucky as well. That's grounded towards the left side. Garza quickly over, again playing the short, hot corner, and gets the put out.
Number 6, Kylie Mann.
In 5 games now played for the Cougars in conference play, we'll not include these 2 runs because it doesn't help my point. Is that, I want to say snaps it bad, but no, it just takes the lineup card out of the left arm sleeve. Cougars, up to their first 5 games of the season, not including this one, have only let in a total of 10 runs. (3-1, 8-1, and 6-4 in the 3 games in order at Tennessee Tech. 4-3 and 3-1 the first 2 games of this series. That misses high, 1-1. Mia Volpert inside the circle. Kylie Mann, the Eagles shortstop at bat. Fouls that one straight back here and catches me napping. One, two for Volpert. Fouled straight down, hits the umpire and the catcher Barrera. The same conversation yesterday when it was the inverse for the Eagles, the unspoken bond between catchers and umpires at nearly all levels of the game. Never more important than when you want to get a call if you're a catcher. The ever-elusive outside strike could have been on that occasion. That's fouled away. One, two for Volpert. She'll do it again, and that one is fouled back and caught by Barrera off the net, so it's not an out. Small confines of Cougar Field can very easily lead to catches off the nets, even down the foul lines for ball high enough in the air. Volpert sends it home again and evens it up to 2-2. Noemi Latondra is on deck. Two from Volpert. That's fouled down off the leg of Kylie Mann. Two will do it again. Strike three on the swing. Took a few pitches, but the out does get recorded. More than a few. 9 pitches to be exact off the multitude of foul balls for Kylie Mann. But the strikeout swinging does finally come from Mia Volpert. Speaking of the outside strike, there it is. Catches the outside corner for strike one to Latondra. 2 for 5 on the series. Has a home run, a single in the previous game as well. That's right back to the middle. She's now 2 for 6 on the series. And Mia Volpert very quickly escapes the second inning. Significantly less damage done. The Cougars would like to invert that as we head to the second on ESPN.
Located on State Route 157 at home to the back.
You got that update ready?
Yep, unit tests are running now.
Cool. New laptop?
Oh yeah, I need it for work.
I'm a star of your team. Check out my game day drip.
It's custom.
Forget the game. You're watching me. Who loves you? And if you don't have the right auto coverage, you'll be paying for that yourself. So get Allstate.
Stairs to bat. The Eagles back on defense. Home half of the second inning from Cougar Field in Edwardsville, Illinois. Stairs the 6-hole hitter. Marissa Garza behind her, and Aiden Barrera will get her first at-bat of the series. And very quickly, Marissa Garza will come to bat as we have our first hit batter of our 3-game affair.
Number 5.
And planted straight to the back of Jesselyn Stairs. No real way to avoid that one. Marissa Garza has a single, a couple strikeouts, grounded out to the pitcher as well. I believe she had a sac bunt in the previous game, just the same. She does square to bunt here, pulls back. Tondra again sprinted on So about as close in front of the plate as she could have gotten without being in the grill of Garza. And Vandermark wheels over to cover first base if needed. 2-0 quickly. Would not be too surprised if Garza goes back to square. Bernie deals again. That misses high. 3-0. Sayers is one of, not few, but a couple SIUE Cougars that have not attempted to steal thus far this season. No lack of speed over at first base. That one's in there for a strike, and Garza was in the midst of throwing her bat over. Luckily, it did not leave her hand. Still would not be a bad idea to protect a little bit more than usual on a 3-1 count here. Or be ready for a bit more of a conservative strike. That one misses. No chance there. And consecutive free passes. That one a little less painful than the one prior. And we are going to have a very quick turnover for a pitching change. Back into pitch for Morehead State. Third time in 3 games is Allison Harris.
Thank you. Now pitching for Morehead State, number 25, Allison Harris.
Harris, I believe this is now her 13th appearance. It is. We'll say a shade over 38.1 innings pitched, but only slightly with the previous game ending. 5.3 ERA, 346-ish batting average against. These are all numbers coming into today. The exception is the 13th appearance. That includes her 12th from the previous game. But again, it was an abridged appearance. She came in relief of Ainsley Stubbs towards the end of that game. She had 0.1 innings pitched officially. None of the runs that were scored were attributed to her. Gave up 1 hit on 2 at-bats and 2 batters faced. Got a fly out to end the inning. Did not pitch in the 7th because the Cougars didn't need to bat in the 7th. They won 3-1 in 6.5. So Harris back to work with 2 runners on and nobody out. Squared a bunt and a missed opportunity for Barrera. This is Barrera's first at-bat since Tuesday when they took on Minnesota. There were limited numbers across the board for SIUE in that game. She'll square a bunt again and miss again. Everybody on base has to panically return to their previously safe location. Barrera was 0 for 1 in that game. I believe she had a sacrifice. She did. She had 1 sacrifice. That accounted for both of her plate appearances. That one misses high, but because he missed opportunities at the sac bunts, still 1-2. (1-2), still with nobody out for Barrera. She watches strike 3 and knew it.
Now batting, number 17, Harley Limburger.
Harley Limburger, another name that got active in our previous game. Was not hitting great coming in. That number's gone up ever so slightly with the double. That's swung on and fouled back here. That number's now 133. 742 OPS with a 133 batting average is blasphemy, but impressive nonetheless. Slugging 300, a 400 OBP. Not bad by any means. That one misses outside. She has as many RBIs as she does total bases. She's got a double and a triple for her only 2 hits of the season. 16th game for Limburger, her 6th start in this Cougar roster. A lot of that has come as of late. Did not play as much in the large portion of their out-of-conference multi-team events. 2-1 to Limburger. That one falls in for a strike. Good breaking ball from Allison Harris. Two now to Limburger. Swinging a foul back here. Do it again. Limburger out of Warren, Michigan sees the 2-2 and watches it go by for ball 3. Junior spent all 3 of her seasons here with the Cougars. He's previously listed as a catcher, is actually still listed as a catcher, although with the other catchers available and very helpful for SIUE, she's not gotten time behind the dish. She's been in right field, and impressively so, especially if you go back to last game. Highlight clip or 2 there. 3-2 again. That one's skied towards the right side, but would be well foul. I believe it landed on top of the dugout there for Morehead. Three-two again, still 2 runners on and 1 out. It's Allison Harris sat down the only batter she's faced. May not be able to do it again. That's pelted towards center. Will sit down the batter. Maddie Christopher's catch will allow at least 1 runner to advance. Tale of 2 situations for Jesselyn Stairs and Arissa Garza. Stairs took off for 3rd on the catch. Arissa Garza was most of the way to the second base. She was not going on the catch, so decided to tag back to first base. It's 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. Just like that in the second inning, the SIUE lineup has turned over. Limburger gets the 60 feet for Jesselyn Stairs. They're 60 feet from tying this game up. Harville sees the first pitch. They'll throw it down to second, but Arissa Garza was only feigning and not heavily. No commitment to the bit, it seemed, for Arissa Garza, and it's 0-1. That one misses high. Garza a little less antsy over at first base on that occasion. Harville grounded to second in the first to lead this Cougar side off. Here comes the 1-1. That one's low. Arguably that would have been the pitch for Garza to go on, but fielded very well by Sydney Farmer. Not only kept it in front of her, arguably picked it. Most first basemen are jealous watching that. Allison Harris brings the 2-1 home. Harville pops it to shallow right. They can't see it. Nobody sees the ball. First to third goes Arissa Garza. Jesselyn Stairs will score. Although the arm was out for our home plate umpire. He was signaling a delayed dead ball. And I believe it was for the pitch. And on the delayed dead ball, you get to choose either the outcome of the forced delay or the outcome of the play. Something that would have happened yesterday for Ben Sorton had our official replay system work. I promise it's the last time I'll bring it up. Although it did happen there, he obviously decides to put runners back on first and third and score a run this time rather than just do it again with the ball. So 2-1. Turned to 2-2. A tie game for SIUE on a pop in the infield that is really the first time Sage Vandemark has had issues with the sun. Swing and a miss for Justine Torres. And unfortunately for Sage Vandemark, where she was looking for that is in the direction, I'm not going to say the sun is setting. It is just about 3 p.m. Central Time here in Edwardsville, but where the sun is moving towards. That's out towards right field. That may be trouble for Campbell. Campbell does make the running catch and is able to retire the SIUE side, but not without more damage done. Each team has combined for nearly as many hits as we had in the entirety of the last game in the first 2 innings. It's tied it to a piece. 3 hits for Morehead, 2 for SIUE. Morehead comes to bat when we return on ESPN.
Are you Marsha?
I am. I am.
Thanks for meeting me here. Usually not an interweb dating guy. Barely ever use this phone computer. Unless it's to bundle my insurance with Liberty Bibbity.
Oh, same. I hate this thing, but it's true. You can save hundreds bundling with Bibbity.
Bibbity?
Bibbity?
Bibbity.
Bibbity.
Are you hungry? Let's get some lasagna.
And some cannolis.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Pollen in your way?
Allergies on a hike? Great.
Plus, the risk of brain fog.
But we've got Allegra.
Allegra delivers fast, powerful allergy relief with no brain fog due to drowsiness. Discover Allegra. It's a no-brainer.
We have Volpert back to work. Eagles back to bat. Top of the 3rd inning here from Cougar Field in Edwardsville, Illinois. That one's grounded right in front of home plate. No real play for Barrera, who throws it away into right field. Limburger has to go running after it. And a free 60 feet for Maddie Christopher, who arguably should have been on first base, much less definitely shouldn't be on second base. Aiden Barrera throws it over. I saw a clip from a Little League game a couple days ago where a coach was yelling, eat it, as in don't throw the ball. And then the catcher threw it into left field and said, oh, I thought you said yeet it.
Now batting, number 17.
I don't think so.
Sage Vandemark.
Rare mistake for her, and that's pelted towards left center field. The SIUE offense is entirely undone with 2 swings of the bat, arguably 1.5. Maddie Christopher comes home to score, and it's the 3rd RBI of the game for Sage Vandemark. Home run and an RBI double.
Now batting, number 3.
And we will see a quick pitching change for Ben Sorden and company. I believe I just saw Kiana Villa making her way out of the bullpen. We'll see when the gate opens. It is Kiana Villa who has to go grab a mask. SIUE's number 16 will come to pitch. Volpert exits to a round of applause, and I don't know if this is something to worry about, but Kiana Villa just stepped on the foul line. That's not a cardinal sin for pitchers. I'm not really sure what is. So Kiana Villa, with Michaela Anderson going the entirety of our previous game, is now the pitcher with the least amount of innings for SIUE. She's also the only SIUE pitcher without a start on the season. This is her 10th appearance without a start. 18 innings pitched, 5.44 ERA. Mostly pitching to contact, 7 strikeouts to 5 walks. Batting average against is .370 for her. Haley Strain is the only pitcher with a number higher than that in the SIUE staff. 1.94 whip.
DP's coming in to catch. Number 12, the original catcher, will be the OP. Okay, thank you.
We also have a defensive change for SIUE. The previous catcher, who turned into the defensive player, or designated player, that is, Ashley Duran. Duran is now coming in to catch.
Now batting number 3, SIUE Pickford.
And Aiden Barrera now the OP for SIUE. Kiana Villa inherits a runner on second base. That's popped towards shallow right center field. Danger for both fielders. It's caught by the center fielder, Abby Harville. It looked like Sage Vandemark was ready to take off for third base, decided better of it, and stays put. First out on the board with one pitch for Kiana Villa. That's in the dirt. Taken off for third is Vandemark. Throw too far in front of the bag, and the swipe tag misses for Garza. Free 60 feet, that one looped, caught at shortstop by Justine Torres. My goodness, even over at third, Vandemark thought that cleared her head, and she was the closest one to it. Luckily did not take off prematurely and was able to take a step and a half back to third base, not to get doubled off. But a defensive gem for Justine Torres reaching up and over her shoulder. Abby Harville with the first out of the innings helped Cougar pitching, and certainly helped their starting pitcher. A reminder, the runner at third is Mia Volperts, should it be scored. Should the run be scored, that is. Kiana Villa is only at risk of giving up an earned run herself if this one goes over the correct side of each fence. She's behind 2-0 early. That one curls back in for a strike, 2-1. Aladoran behind the first pitch when she decided not to swing, but is able to lay off that one. 3-1 now. First game of this series for her. She's the DP. 3-1 count. She watches that one fall low.
Now batting, number 12.
Ron very quickly takes her base. Strike one to Tykebria Campbell. Seniors 0 for 1 in this game. Has had an up and down series. Good contact. Unfortunately, lack of good hits. That's a swing and a miss. 0-2. She's swinging for Eastern time. If they leave tonight, they'll get there around 11, maybe midnight. They'll lose an hour. Not surprise me if Morehead State stayed in town an extra night. Pitch outside to protect for Campbell. Morehead was here early on Friday. First game of this series was scheduled for 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Morehead, despite the fact they drove, what is that, six and a half hours, give or take, from Morehead, Kentucky. They got here at 2:30. So that's caught by Justine Torres behind the bag at second. And the Morehead State side is retired. But again, with some early damage done, the book is officially, we'll say, closed for the time being for the SIUE starting pitcher, Mia Volpert. She could certainly re-enter. Likelihood, maybe not. We'll see if she does and how the Cougars do on offense when we come back on ESPN.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
SIUE to bat. Once more, Allison Harris to pitch here for Morehead State. Kaylin Fahey, one of 2 runs scored for SIUE. She did it all herself. The lone solo shot for the Cougars, the lone shot of any kind over the fence, at least over the correct fence. Couple of check swings. Second one is called a swing by our first base umpire, Bradley Gaylord. Count's even up to 1-1. Swings at that one out towards right center. Campbell trying to sprint over again, makes the running catch. The speed in the outfield for Morehead State has saved many a hit. Fahey's no exception. Campbell any further behind that could have been extra bases for Fahey with her speed. She's the left fielder for SIUE. And Ashley Duran, who was originally the designated player, is now the catcher as she and Aiden Barrera have switched roles. Off the end of the bat, that's short towards the short right side of the infield. Missed by Noemi Latondra originally. Sage Vandemark makes the play and is able to kind of underhand it over towards Latondra to make the play. A 4-3 put out the awkward and somewhat difficult way, but a put out nonetheless. Cougars are very quickly being sat down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That's fouled away by Betsy Woodward. Walkden was stranded in the 1st inning. Her and Jesselyn Stairs. Off-speed pitch misses wide, 1-1. Duran's 1-1 to Woodward. That's towards the opposite field. Campbell gets her steps in here in the 3rd inning. Completes 2 of 3 putouts. All 3 balls in play for SIUE put to the opposite field, and all 3 cleanly fielded by Morehead State. We head to the top of the 4th. Morehead State still leads 3-2.
Taxes was so taxing.
Now taxes is so free. Typical tax, free edition only. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is taxes, file for free and get the most money back. Guaranteed.
We knew our last Verbo was going to be incredible. We didn't know the hot tub was broken. But thanks to Verbo Care and 24/7 live support, they moved us. Better place, better hot tub.
Got any room for Dad?
Think again, Bruce.
Yeah.
Teenagers are full of surprises. Verbo is not. If you know, you Verbo.
Not the only event going on for either of these 2 schools as SIUE and Morehead State resume top of the 4th. Morehead State up 3-2. Morehead State beach volleyball is at the Coastal Carolina Invitational in Conway, South Carolina. They lost their first of two. They're playing a doubleheader today against Coastal Carolina. Baseball is at Western Carolina in, I'm not going to try and say that, North Carolina. Kaloe for Western Carolina. SIUE baseball is currently leading Valparaiso about a mile from here. 3-2 in the top of the ninth. Won the game yesterday. 2 outs over at Roy E. Lee Field. And SIUE softball, or SIUE tennis, sorry, swept Tennessee State 7-0 in Ohio Valley Conference play. Villa brings the 2-2 home. That one slapped foul by Collins. Game 2 of a doubleheader, game 3 of the series as Villa brings the 2-2 home once more. That one misses just wide. Collins runs and watches that one to fill up the count. Full count offering from Villa. That's slapped out towards shallow left. Over the shoulder of Fahey, was playing way too shallow for a slap hitter. Easy double for Collins. And nothing Fahey could do at that distance. It just got slapped over her head. And another leadoff runner for Morehead State, already in scoring position. The only other sport going on for either of these two schools, there are some SIUE men's track and field athletes over at the NCAA Indoor Championships in Fayetteville, Arkansas. That is still going on really all day. The OVC Championships were 2.5 or so weeks ago. The other early base runner for Morehead State, another dangerous aspect towards the first baseman, fielded cleanly by Stairs and put over to Woodward, but the sacrifice does its job, and over to third goes Sophie Collins, 60 feet from doubling the lead.
Number 11, Noemi Laton.
One more update from Roy E. Lee Field here from Edwardsville. SIUE has beaten Valparaiso 3-2. Did not have to play in the bottom of the ninth inning. That's right back to the pitcher. Villa watches over to first, underhands it, and keeps the runner over at third. Watches over to third, that is, and keeps the runner at third. Impressive way to field her position and not throw the ball away. No need to get too amped up, and keeps the lead runner still in a dangerous position. Could certainly be worse, but it brings Maddie Christopher now to bat here for the Eagles. Couple of doubles. One straight up the middle, one just through the second base hole. This one straight up the middle to the center fielder Harville, who jumps to make the grab. And SIUE escapes without any further damage done. One hit, but no runs and no errors for the Cougar defense. They come back to bat as we head to the bottom of the fourth on ESPN.
We knew our last Verbo was going to be incredible. We didn't know the hot tub was broken. But thanks to Verbo Care and 24/7 live support, they moved us. Better place, better hot tub.
Got any room for Dad?
Think again, Bruce. Yeah. Teenagers are full of surprises. Verbo is not. If you know, you Verbo.
Fences are failing all over the park. John, I can't get Jurassic Park back online without...
Whoa, this place is awesome. By the way, you should have plugged this in.
Well, this is going to be a lovely weekend.
If you like pina colada.
I'll take it. My arms are longer. Do the roar again.
A whole new species of Wi-Fi at the same price for 5 years.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Cougars trail by 1 as Stairs on the first pitch takes arguably the easiest out of the day for either team and grounds it straight to Noemi Latondra, who takes a shuffle step and a half and steps on first for the first out of the bottom of the fourth inning. Early lead here for
Alyssa Garza.
Morehead State as they lead 3-2, was tied up in the bottom of the second, only for the lead to go right back in the Eagles' favor in the top of the third. We're here in the bottom of the fourth. This is not the only game going on across the Ohio Valley Conference. Tennessee Tech wrapped up its first game against Tennessee State. They won 10-2 in 6 innings. They're currently in the bottom or the top of the third in game 2 of that series. So that's fouled off to the left side. Tennessee State leads 4-0 in the top of the third of that second game. That is at Tennessee State. Lindenwood is at Eastern Illinois, a team SIUE sees in the next week or so. Bottom of the fourth, Lindenwood leads 8-0 over the home team Eastern Illinois Panthers. UT Martin is hosting SEMO, bottom of the third there. UT Martin leads 1-0. As that drops in for a ball, it's 1-2. And USI, Southern Indiana, is at Western Illinois and leading 4-0 in the top of the third. Some scores that have already happened. USI beat Western 4-2 in the first game, and UT Martin beat SEMO 5-0 in the first game of that doubleheader. That drops in for a strike. Strike 3 quickly on Arissa Garza, and 2 are set down here in the Cougar fourth. Another SIUE offensive change, as they will bring in Kaylee Freidelund to bat in favor of who was originally their catcher and then became their OP, Aiden Barrera.
14 for 12.
Got it. Now batting for the Cougars.
We appreciate our umpiring crew for keeping us informed.
Kaylee Freidelund.
Importantly, almost every single softball series for the OVC this weekend is played on a Friday, Saturday. The exception is Tennessee State hosting Tennessee Tech. As Freidelund gets her first at bat of the series, swings and misses at strike 1. Yesterday, Western Illinois beat Southern Indiana 5-3. UT Martin beat SEMO 4-0. They're on a track to sweep that series. As mentioned, SIUE beat Morehead State 4-3, and Eastern Illinois and Lindenwood went to 14 innings. That game ended 12-11. Go watch that when you can get some free time. That's an adventurous Friday evening, if I do say so myself, in Charleston. The official game time on that was 4 hours and 36 minutes for that 14-inning barn burner. Allison Harris brings home the 1-2. Swing in what will be a foul down the left side for Freidelund. One, 2 again from Allison Harris to the pinch hitter Freidelund. Foul tip straight back into the mitt. She strikes out swinging. Again, quick work for Allison Harris. Fourth inning comes to a close. Eagles still lead 3-2 here on ESPN.
Kids are always snacking on the go, so keep them going all day with chewy, delicious Sunbelt Bakery Bars. From oats and honey to chocolate chip to soft baked strawberry, there's a flavor for everyone. The tastiest flavors under the sun. Sunbelt Bakery Bars.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning, and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
Kiana Villa working on 24 pitches in 2 full innings of work. 1 hit, 1 walk. That hit was a double. That's a breaking ball. Slides out of the zone. 1-0. Sage Vandemark, who has been on multiple occasions the arguable hero here for Morehead State, is the exclusive reason they are leading. She accounts for all 3 of the runs batted in, including a run scored on her home run in the first. Second at bat of this game, she drove one over the center field fence, drove home Maddie Christopher, and then in the third, had a separate RBI on a double. She's 2 for 2. And has been the stoic, consistent factor of this Morehead State Eagles squad. Top of the 5th inning here in Edwardsville, Illinois. Kiana Villa, as mentioned, took over in the top of the 3rd. That's towards Garza. Fields cleanly, throws cleanly. First out of the 5th inning.
Now batting number 3, Sela Pickford.
Brings in Sela Pickford, who has had a long weekend. If it would have been a continued streak, largely ruined. Although a win here would certainly help the Eagles' case. It'd be their first conference win. They're 0-5 after being swept last weekend. That's off the end of the bat. Shallow infield. Diving play by Garza is unsuccessful. Into no man's land, and it falls in for a hit. Kiana Villa didn't look like she saw it off the bat with the mask on, and/or didn't even want to try and make a play on the ball. Either way, a base runner for the Eagles. And Kiana Villa, you saw her tap her chest saying, that's probably my bad. Although I'm only so good at charades. So it puts Sela Pickford on first base, and she does get the hit I thought she had in her previous at-bat. That one's fouled off towards the right side, is caught over at first by Jesselyn Stairs. And 1 pitch, 1 out for Sydney Farmer. Brings in Dwalron.
Now batting number 22, Nyla Dwaron.
Dwaron is currently squaring to bunt with 2 outs, although I'm certain she's going to pull this back. She does. Foul tip into the mitt of the Cougar catcher, Ashley Duran. She's squaring to bunt once more. Runner on first base with 2 outs here. That's in there for a strike. 0-2. Very quickly, Kiana Villa is trying to end this away half of the 5th inning. 9 combined hits between the 2 teams. 7 of them for Morehead State. SIUE has the lone error committed. One-two home from Villa. In there for strike 3. That kept coming back onto the plate, and just Dwaron did not see it coming. Top of the 5th comes to a close. They leave a runner on. Off the only hit. Back to bat comes SIUE when we get to the bottom of the 5th.
Stop by First Community Credit Union today to get your official code.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I did not check who was behind me at the game. Dude, she just pointed at me. That's crazy. Checking Allstate first was the right move. I love you! I love you! Not checking who was sitting behind me was humbling.
That's their mom. That's Mrs. Betts.
Yeah, check Allstate first. You could save hundreds. Go Bruins.
Go Bruins.
Stage of the game, 9, 1, and 2, the batting order for SIUE. Carly Limburger, the first of those three, as she swings and misses. Harley Limburger, sorry, swings and misses at strike one. Morehead State has led in all three of the games we've played this weekend, and for extended periods of time in most of them, as Limburger swings through strike two. Megan Griffith said this is a team that is new, not only some of them to college, but mostly new to each other. Some seniority brought from players from JUCO, but a lot of younger players getting acquainted not only with the collegiate game, but with their new teammates. One-two home to Limburger. Swing and a miss, strike three, 4 pitches, and Limburger sat down in quick succession.
Now batting, number 13, Abby Harville.
Single for Harville last time up. She had an RBI, which was to tie the game at the time. But since then, it has been a very quiet set of bats for SIUE. The extent of the noise that has come from them is foul balls and groundouts. Oh, 1 home to Harville. Misses outside. Talked about some of the age brought for Morehead State. Noemi Latondra is no exception. The junior comes out of Lakeland College. That's where she played JUCO, but originally from Diamondville, Quebec, Canada. What better sport to play than a diamond sport if you're from Diamondville? Harris's 1-1 missed. It's 2-1 as she comes home. That's towards the right side. Harville is able to bring a base runner on board for the Cougars. Doesn't matter how you get on board. While there may be descriptions on a scorecard, batting average is not the end-all, be-all, and E4 will be attributed to Sage Vandemark. That's really the only error that she has made all weekend, whether literally being attributed as an error or not. Offense has been stellar. Defense has been superior to all. 1 out, however. There's a base runner on. Brings in Justine Torres. Oh, 1 home to Torres. She squares to bunt, but it will spin foul. Another pretty good bunting opportunity for SIUE. Although doing so with 1 out, trading it out for 60 feet's nice, especially if you hit with a runner in scoring position, but at some point you could take the bat out of a hand of a player like Justine Torres, who's put the bat on the ball quite well today, albeit without a hit, but ground out to third, flied to right. She flies that into the net down the right side. Taikibria Campbell has to sprint over and get it. Still technically in play, not in fair territory, but in play. Justine Torres sees the 0-2 once more. Swings straight through, strike 3.
Now batting, number 1, Kaylin Fahey.
It brings Kaylin Fahey to bat. She's got a home run, a couple singles, and a lot of FXs. F9 3 times, F4, and I believe I saw an F7 in there. It's been an adventurous series for her in the air. As Harville takes off late, it looked like she slid in under the tag. She does indeed. Good throw from the catcher, Sydney Farmer, but Harville on a delayed-ish steal, whatever you call that, swipes second base with 2 outs. And it seemed like the sacrifice bunt wasn't even required. One 0 as that one missed, swung through and fouled away for Fahey. Fahey has kept the ball in the air, swinging for power on a good portion of her at-bats. Has been within a few steps of the fence on a couple of those flyouts. One was a pop out to the second baseman Vandemark earlier. That one misses away. Again, despite the fact that SIUE only has 2 hits, it has been a lot of good pieces of hitting. Kind of the inverse of what it was for Morehead State in the previous game, where they did not get a whole lot of hitting later on in the game, but put the bat on the ball very well. Defense exists for a reason. Fahey tries to hold back. Umpire at third base says she did. It's 3-1. So 3-1 to Fahey. She tries to hold back this time around, but is not as successful. Ben Sorden asking to ask. Though that one was a little bit more clear than the previous. Count fills up regardless, with Harville on second and 2 outs. Harris trying to get herself out of a runner in scoring position. That one's out towards the right side. Harville's being sent. Kybria Campbell's going to have to throw it home. It's not in time. Harville's safe. It's tied once more. RBI single from Kaylin Fahey, her second RBI of the game. And SIUE has leveled it late in the game once more. A little earlier than they did in the previous game, a lot earlier than 2 games ago when they had to come back from 3-1 down, but a level game regardless. The 3rd hit of the game for SIUE. All 3 SIUE hits have been RBIs, by the way. That's towards a shortstop. And a quick put out for Kylie Mann. 1 batter too late for the Eagles. Their lead evaporated once more. It's 3 apiece as we head to the top of the 6th in Edwardsville.
And it's last call for food and drinks at the concession stand. It will be closing after this half inning. Once again,
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I did not check who was behind me at the game. Dude, she just pointed at me. That's crazy. Checking Allstate first was the right move. I love you!
I love you!
Not checking who was sitting behind me was humbling.
That's their mom. That's Mrs. Betts.
Yeah, check Allstate first. You could save hundreds. Go Bruins.
Go Bruins.
Hey, you get a free smoothie all week when you buy some food. Look at you, Mr. Meal Planner. March 9th to 15th, Tropic Rewards members get a free smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat some good.
Medea Purdue will be the pinch hitter to take over.
from Morehead State, number 30, Marie Purdue.
She will lead off the away half of the 6th inning. And squared a bunt pretty quickly. Corners sprint in, but nothing comes of it. This is the 5th separate left-handed batter today that extends back into our first game of this doubleheader to bat for Morehead State. That one misses just wide. SIUE has just one. It's Jesselyn Stairs, and she even throws right-handed and plays first base. Sophie Collins is on deck. That swung through towards shallow left center. It actually started carrying deeper and deeper without the wind even, but it is caught regardless by Kaylin Fahey, who's been active on the offensive side and has got a little bit more active on the defensive side now as Collins steps into bat. Sophie Collins, another slap hitter over towards the left side. Justine Torres on the move across the diamond. 6-3 put out for the Cougars. And a couple quick outs for Kiana Villa,
Now batting, number
who
6,
again has made short work of the batter she has faced. That's batter number 14 and pitch number 40. That's swung on. Make it batter number 15. Pitch number 41 sits down the away half of the 6th inning. And Kiana Villa has one of the quicker innings we've seen this weekend. Cougars back to bat, now with a chance to take the lead in a tie game. We come back in Edwardsville.
Be sure to visit Schnucks on your way out of town to grab
Ready
your
for a
favorite
local
food.
getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
SIUE back to bat, bottom half of the 6th inning in a tie game. As Allison Harris retakes the mound, you can see upcoming series for Morehead State as that one's pelted towards right field. Campbell has it drop right in front of her. She keeps it in front, but a leadoff runner is aboard for SIUE. As mentioned, we can take a look at those upcoming series. Brought to you by Visit SI. Brought this up earlier, Morehead heads to Macomb for a 3-game series. They host Tennessee Tech and then will head to Southern Indiana in Evansville, Indiana, the USI softball field. SIUE on the other side of that, they've got a couple weekday games ahead of them. As Jesslyn Stairs squares to bunt, that's fouled away. They will head to the Billiken Sports Complex and take on SLU on March 18th. Hopefully it's warmer by then because it's supposed to be a little chilly over the next couple days, to say the very least. They host Eastern Illinois for the doubleheader on Saturday, single game Sunday, and they will host Mizzou on Tuesday the 24th. We'll have all four of those last 5 games on ESPN Plus here in Edwardsville for you. Again, those upcoming series are brought to you by Visit SI. Make Southern Illinois your summer oasis. So with a leadoff runner aboard, somebody in the SIUE dugout just said we're getting the lead here. Trying to speak it into existence for Stairs, who watches ball 1 go wide. Stairs in this game has been hit by a pitch and had the very simple ground out to her fellow first baseman and fellow number 11 wearer in Noemi Latondra. Previous game, not a bad game for her. 1 for 2, had an RBI and scored a run alongside a walk, so productive few plate appearances for the Cougar first baseman. The 1-2 offering again from Harris. That's right up the middle. Off the glove of Harris is going to be a difficult play over at first. Will not be a play over at first. A hit, but an unfortunate hit, and once more, Morehead State gets unlucky. As there's nothing more or really less Harris could do. She wants to field her position to get it over there. If she lets it go, it may be a double play. There's no guarantee it's even fielded by her shortstop, Kylie Mann. And thus, SIUE have the first 2 runners aboard here in the 6th inning. The infield hit brings in Arissa Garza. Both of her plate appearances have ended without contact. She walked and was stranded in the second, struck out in the fourth as she squares to bunt, but fouls that one back, and it's 0-2. One thing I've always been surprised about watching Ben Sorden's Cougars is nearly every time somebody squares to bunt, it is done with a strike. You're waiting for a good pitch in the at-bat and for the pitcher to get comfortable so you don't square to bunt prematurely and just have to pull back on what is a pretty bad ball. It makes sense to me. Although, in this case, can put your batter behind 0-2, like Arissa Garza is right now. Jesslyn Stairs is on first. Betsy Woodward would be the game-leading run for SIUE. She's on second base in a tie game. Patience for Garza. As the wind is picking up just a little bit, you can see the dirt flying around on the infield. Mostly initiated by Jesslyn Stairs over at first base, but certainly not an ideal condition by any means. So 1-2 comes home again. Swung on and missed. That one dropped off the face of the earth for Harris. And a breaking ball gets Arissa Garza. Brings in, I was going to say Kaylee Freidelund, but I'm not sure if she's batting again. It does not look like she is. Seems like they're bringing Reagan Duncan into the game. This will be her first plate appearance in this game. She played all of the last two games, minus a pinch runner or two.
Now batting, number 23, Reagan Duncan.
So Reagan Duncan is now technically the OP for SIUE, as the position was originally occupied by the former SIUE catcher Aiden Barrera. That one's out towards right field. Could drop in front of Campbell. It will indeed. Everybody tries to move up, and they will successfully, but they had to hold up just to make sure the ball was in play and not caught by Campbell, who's had some speed out in right field. Bases get loaded. Duncan was looking for an RBI. But danger Ghost Rider for the pitching staff of the Eagles. Harley Limburger now to bat with the bases juiced. One out for Allison Harris as she tries to pitch herself out of a jam in what is her fifth inning of work. That one's fouled back. A fly to center and a strikeout for Limburger. You'll take a fly out here. There's more than enough speed on third base to score the run, as long as it's not about 95-foot fly out and shallow any outfield for that matter. The 0-1 now to Limburger. That one falls low. And counts evened up at one apiece. SIUE's now 4 for 10 with runners on base, 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. As Limburger watches that one in for a strike and makes it 1-2. They're 3 on 7 with 2 outs. They're 3 for 7 with 2 outs. Harville and Torres await the at-bat of Limburger. The 1-2 home. Swung on right back up the middle, under the glove of the shortstop man. One run's going to score, a second one's being waved. The third will be stopped at third base. It is an RBI single, a 2 RBI single at that, and SIUE leads here at Cougar Field. Everybody's getting their RBIs in here for SIUE, and Harley Limburger drives home 2. And that will end the day of Allison Harris and bring Ainsley Stubbs to pitch for the second time today, but the first time in this game.
Now pitching for Morehead State, number 21, Ainsley Stubbs.
Some insult to injury from whoever's on music for the now departed pitcher Allison Harris. Not a bad day by any means for Allison Harris. She took over pretty early in this game. The final byline's not final just yet, but certainly not comfortable. 44.2 innings pitched. That's the number coming into today. Same case for her ERA and batting average against. This is her 14th appearance, including the game earlier this afternoon. But she inherits 2 runners. Runner on third base is Reagan Duncan, who pinch hit and loaded the bases. Harley Limburger's over at first. Got her first hit of the day and scored 2. And with first and third and 1 out, Abby Harville steps in. She's 1 for 3. She singled and reached on an error and proceeded to score. Again, that was the tying run at the time. She also had an RBI, which was the run to bring it back and tie it also at the time. She had the RBI to make it 2-2 and the run scored to make it 3-3. She's been active on the base paths. Off speed from Stubbs is in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Stubbs in game 1 of this doubleheader went 5 2/3. 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. 4 strikeouts to 3 walks in 26 batters faced. Through 90 pitches. .89 to be more specific, but really anything in this inning will get her above 100 on the day. The 2-1 home, that's dribbled in. More a bowling motion than a softball pitching motion. And it's 3-1, and the runner moves from first to second. A wild pitch for Stubbs. And more danger for Morehead State. That's off the right side of the bat to the opposite field. 3 unassisted for Noemi Latondra. Will keep runners at second and third.
Now batting, number 4.
Job done on the infield as Reagan Duncan did not want to risk taking off from third base with no particular reason to do so. Justine Torres is one of 3 Cougars without a hit here in this game. 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Ground out, fly out, and a strikeout. That breaking ball gets in there for Stubbs. Reminder, Allison Harris is responsible for both of the runners on base. Stubbs brings home the 1-0. That's off towards the opposite field. Campbell, another running catch. The speed in right field has saved Morehead State. No less than 4 hits and no less now than 3 runs. SIUE still strikes once more. Bottom of the 6th has given the Cougars a lead. Morehead State 3 outs from a sweep here in Edwardsville.
Subscribe to the 6-Way Spotlight presented by Schnucks.
We knew our last Verbo was going to be incredible. We didn't know the hot tub was broken. But thanks to Verbo Care and 24/7 live support, they moved us. Better place, better hot tub.
Got any room for Dad?
Think again, Bruce.
Yeah.
Teenagers are full of surprises. Verbo is not. If you know, you Verbo.
Baja is a torture test, pushing every element of the Raptors' performance. If it can survive that, it can handle just about anything.
9-1-2 in what is the last gasp, or could be, for Morehead State. Noemi Latondra is the first of 3 batters guaranteed to come to the plate, whether they're against Kiana Villa or not, still TBD. I don't see anybody in the Cougar pen. Would not be surprised if somebody could be brought in for a final at-bat, because Kiana Villa is now in her 5th inning of work and has done virtually everything to keep this as good of a game as it currently is for at least the Cougars. 5-3 SIUE here at home, on pace to sweep the series pending this half inning. A walk-off win yesterday evening after coming back from 3-1 down in the bottom of the 7th. Even 2 runs were scored by Morehead State in the top of that 7th. 3-0 from Villa's in there for a strike, keeps Latondra at the plate. Previous game was SIUE coming back there as well. They tied it and then took the lead to win and set up the possible series sweep. That was a 3-1 win for SIUE. They tied it and took the lead all in the bottom of the 6th inning. Did not have to bat in the 7th. And here, they tie it in the 5th, take the lead in the 6th, and are in the same general boat. Don't need to bat if you don't need to bat. That's out towards the right side, and Latondra grounds out. We can take a look at this game track, updated as of the previous batter. It's brought to you by United Fidelity Bank, serving their communities since 1914. Harris goes 4.1, 6 hits and 6 strikeouts. A good day overall for her, but she will be credited with the loss should things stand. Kiana Villa, as mentioned, a stellar day. 4 innings pitched, 2 hits and a strikeout. It's now 4.1 as of right now. SIUE 5 runs on 7 hits and an error. Morehead State 3, 7 and 1. Vandemark and Christopher, 2 stellar days at the plate, arguably better in the field going back to yesterday. But it has been Kaylin Fahey who could be the difference maker. Home run and a single that had an RBI. Harville has a single with an RBI and a run scored when she reached on an error. All things have been going towards the Cougars really since the 3rd inning as they lead 5-3 here. Christopher, did she go? She did not, says our third base umpire. Slap hit towards center field. Harville rushes on and makes the catch. The Eagles are down to their final out.
Now batting, number 17, Sage Vandemark.
Sage Vandemark, who has done nearly all she could today, apart from losing a softball in the sun, which everybody's done at least once in their lives. She pops this one towards shallow right. That could do it. It will indeed. Ever so poetic for the second baseman to put out the opposing second baseman and close out the game and the series. Betsy Woodward makes the catch, and Morehead State gets swept and falls to 0-6 in conference play. SIUE moves up to what is now 13-13 overall, 6-0 in conference play. They sweep Morehead State and Tennessee Tech in back-to-back weeks for the 2nd time in as many years to start the conference season. But that's it for this weekend of play. Friday, Saturday weekend for the OVC, a large part of the OVC that is, as Tennessee State and Tennessee Tech are the only other teams that have a game tomorrow as they play the standalone game of their series. SIUE will take on SLU at St. Louis on Wednesday, the 18th, whereas Morehead State has to wait until next weekend to play their follow-up game. But that's all from Edwardsville for this weekend. And again, for our entire ESPN crew, I'm Daniel Roedier saying so long from Cougar Field in Edwardsville, Illinois, where the final score is SIUE 5, Morehead State 3. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. We'll see you next weekend.